What's going on, everybody? Joshua Jones here with EffinAMtG with another Commander deck. This time, special edition M19 core set. I'm calling this Big Bad Bant Butts. Yeah, I went ahead and jumped the gun a little bit on making a Commander deck. I didn't have the next deck coming out until like the first week of July, I believe. So I wanted to kind of just do like one deck a month or something like that on my own schedule, but I couldn't help it. I've been looking for a Bant Commander for a long time, and when I seen this card, I knew I had it. I just really like commanders like this because they give you like a clear-cut strategy, and sometimes like I see so many cards and like the different color combinations, it's easy to get trapped up into just playing like a lot of staple cards and stuff, and like difficult sometimes to find like new things to do and new strategies to do. But this one just throws it at you. I mean, defender, I've never built a Doran deck or any kind of defender or low power deck at all, so I mean, I was just extremely excited when this came out because I knew I had finally found my Bant commander. So Arcade's the Strategist is a Bant and 1, so 4 total mana for a 3/5 flying vigilance legendary creature, Elder Dragon. So that's going to be coming out in the new M19 core set. And it says, whenever a creature with Defender enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. So obviously we're going to be wanting to play a lot of Defenders so that we can draw a bunch of cards. That's not all though. So each creature you control with Defender assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power, which is crazy. And in addition to that, they can attack as though they didn't have Defenders. So basically your Defenders aren't Defenders, essentially, as long as Arcade's out on the battlefield, and they get assigned combat damage equal to their toughness rather than their power, and they get to draw you a card whenever you play them. So this entire deck is going to depend on Arcade's being on the battlefield at all times. So let's just get into it with the ramp cards. We're playing Defenders for our main ramp, even though it's not great going heavy on the creature with the creature base with your ramp. It's okay because these, if Arcades is out, is going to draw us cards, so we're definitely going to be hitting all of our land drops. Here we have Overgrown Battlement Defender, add green for each creature you control with Defender, and it's also an 0/4. 0/3 over here for 3 mana Defender, add X mana in any combination of colors to your mana pool, where X is the number of creatures with Defender you control. So already you can see advantages for having Defender. You add X mana and add a green mana, and their Defenders. Oh, sorry about that, I kind of went backwards there. So then we have Sylvan Cataract, which is just a Defender 0/3 with Hexproof, and you get to add mana, and 0/4 add 1 green mana, and Vine Trellis, Ovenwald Captain, which is a Defender that adds green mana, and then later on in the game it transforms to add 2 green mana on a 4/6. It's important to note that 4/6 is not a Defender if it's transformed, so it's not going to deal damage equal to its toughness. Wall of Roots here is a Defender 0/5 for 2 mana, and also once a turn you could make it have a -1 counter to add a green mana, but you can only do that once a turn, and then after 5 turns, of course, Wall of Roots will die from having the debuff counters on there. Then we have Soul Ring, Thought Vessel, Farseek, and Sunscape Familiar. So Sunscape's not really a ramp card, but it is a wall that lets green spells and blue spells cost less, so kind of like a little card advantage. Or, I mean, excuse me, the card did reduce in mana cost. Farseek, because it gets a plains or an island, and that's any plains or island. So if you're running plains and island in your mana base, you can like pick up multiple colors with that. And just a good 2 mana investment. Thought Vessel, because we're going to be drawing so many cards, we wanted to have a way to make sure we have no maximum hand size, and then Soul Ring. So to refill, other than just playing Defenders and drawing cards when Arcades is out, these are cards that help us draw more than just replace themselves. So Lifecrafters, Scry, and then we're playing a lot of creatures, so we can pay green to draw cards, and then we're playing a lot of walls, so we can pay green and sack the wall to draw cards. Here we have Wall of Omens, which has draw card, Orator of Ojutai. So if you control Arcadis, you're going to draw 2 cards. Wall of Blossoms, you draw 2 cards. And Caravan Caratude. So all these, you draw a card if Arcades is out, and then you also draw a card when they enter. Here we have Harmonize and Concentrate, just because I want a way to just pay 4 mana to get 3 more cards in hand. So if you were going to dump a couple cards for some different flavor cards, and you wanted to dump these two, I wouldn't hate on you for doing so. Praetor's Council returns cards from your graveyard to your hand, and then also gives you no maximum hand size, so it helps us recover from board wipes. And then also we want to have the ability to have however many cards we want in our hands, but it is steep at 8 mana. Zendikar Resurgent because it doubles up on our mana, but then also we're running 37 creatures, so whenever we play a creature, we get to draw an additional card in addition to if we have Arcades out. Here we have our removal, so Dusk and then Dawn. So Dusk is going to remove power 3 or greater, and then Dawn actually lets us get back pretty much everything we have for creatures wise in our graveyard if they happen to be there to our hand again. And then Minkstone kind of I have in the removal because 3 or greater creatures don't untap during their controller's untap step, which means that unless they have vigilance, you know, all their stuff's not going to untap, and all of our stuff is. So except with our commander, which we're not going to be swinging with anyways. Oh, and I think it has vigilance. I have that recheck, but I'm pretty sure it has vigilance as well. So there you go. So we have Slaughter the Strong, Retribution of the Meek, Fell the Mighty, and Wave of Reckoning, which kind of has the same kind of theme going on here. Basically, it's a one-sided board wipes for all of our opponent's stuff, and we get to keep all of our stuff. Psych Rift, Swords, Path, and Beast Within just as like a cover-all for just solid removal spells. And then we move into the Rump portion. So these are all the defenders. So we have Tree of Redemption, which is a 013, and you can change your life total with its toughness. So that's pretty cool. And then Junk Troller here lets us get rid of cards in the graveyard and then put them on the bottom of the libraries. But it's also an 06. 05 and the Thalid, but it also lets us remove spore counters to get 1/1 saps into play. Here we have the captain. Here's an 04, and we get a gain life whenever a defender blocks. Wall Shards, which is a 1/8 for 2 mana, so that's swinging for 8 on turn 4 if we play it, and then play our commander. And it's a defender with flying, and then it also has an upkeep where your opponents gain life. So if you ever want, you just don't pay the upkeep, and then it'll go, go into the graveyard there. A Shroud Flying Defender at 08 for 3 mana is just amazing. And then another Defender Flyer for 3 mana for an 06. Here we have Wall Frost, which taps stuff down, but it's also hit for 7 if we have our commander out. Wall of Excellence, which is going to hit for 4, and also lets us gain some life if we want to if we end up dealing any kind of combat damage with it. And then we have the Dazzling here, which does tap stuff down, but it also has 7 toughness, so we're swinging in there for 7. And then Wall of Junk, which has 7 toughness, and we get to return anything that gets blocked by it whenever it becomes blocked, we return it to our hand. So we are going to have to pick it up if they find a way to block it, but it's hidden for 7. Then we have some Defender Flyers, a 0 mana 06 here, a 2 mana 06 that can gain reach, and then the Armathine Wall is a 06 that can give itself indestructible. The Drift here has Transmute, that's why I have it in here, but it's also an 05 flyer. Then we have some Mill with the Doorkeeper. Then we have Wall Resurgence, which gives our land, gives us opportunity to make our land into a creature. And then we have the Geist, which allows us to do some scrying. Wall of Nets here, Jeskai Barricade, Stalwart Shieldbearer, and Chronoloded Wall, if I'm saying that right. So the target creature gets +0/+4 is a nice little ability, and then to give other creatures you control Defender +0/+2 is a cool ability, and then just returning a creature to our hand sometimes is nice with a little flash there, and then a little like exile effect on Wall, and that's another good things here. So those are all the defenders that I have in the deck. So you can see the majority of those defenders are doing things other than just being defenders. So primarily we want Arcades out so that we can get the full advantage on them. But even if we can't, they do like more than just nothing at all. And then we have some Reassurance cards. So our commander is really important to the strategy, but attacking with defenders is important, and then also like dealing damages, toughness is important. So Rolling Stones and Assault Formation help us out if our commander's been killed a bunch of times, just as like to bring that ability into our deck, minus the draw the cards part. Also, too, on assault formation, we're gonna have like times where we have a lot of mana, so that creatures getting +1 +0/+1 is a good thing to dump mana into. Here we have Swiftfoot, Lightning Greaves, and Asceticism to help protect our commander and our other cards as well, but mainly to protect our commander. And then I've included Approach of the Second Sun as an alternate win condition, just in case we need to pull the trigger on a I win the game card if need be. And then we have some more Reassurance and Crewfix God of Horizons just for the ability to run mana through turns, and then also to make sure we can have the hand size that we want. We don't have the discard cards. Vincer and Tamio, because we're in Bant, and these are just great Bant things, but also to help get creatures in, without being blocked for our turns, and to blink stuff. And then if we ever get the emblem, it's good, but mainly so we can get creatures in unblocked, and then blink or flicker things. And then Tamio, because the ultimate's another no maximum hand size thing. And then also to actually this Tamio is the one where we have like omniscience or whatever. So later on we'll have to switch the token out because I put the wrong emblem in here. But this one lets you do some card draw and then some untapping of non-land permanents and tapping down of non-land permanents. Sadar here because it helps your creatures get in if they don't have reach or flying, and they have power 2 or less. If they don't have power 2 or less, they can't block. So pretty good there. And then the range just 36 lands, so we're running 6 islands, 6 plains, 6 forest, and then 18 of the lands to include Reliquary Tower, Temple of False God, and Seaside Citadel. So these are the things that are going to help you be ready having these emblems. Like I said, we don't actually have the Moon Sage. I put the wrong emblem on here. It's the other emblem that you need. But these other emblems and tokens you'll need that are in the deck. And then that's all you need for Arcades, the Strategist, to work. And it does end up having Vigilance, so there you go. This deck's going to run you about $140. And if you want to check out the deck list, it's on MTG Goldfish. Deck number 1,158,432. So there you have it. I just want to say thanks to John for this GLHF logo, and then I do all my decks on MTG Goldfish and TCG Players where I get my prices. And as you know, Magic is a product of the Wizards of the Coast. If you want to email me, hit me up at EffinAMtG@gmail.com. I'm Joshua Jones. I hope you enjoyed Arcades, the Strategist, and I hope you're looking forward to the Elder Dragons coming back and the core set M19. I know me personally, I ordered this deck the second I got done making it, and then I made this video, so I'm really looking forward to playing this. And let me know what you think about the Elder Dragons and Arcades in particular, and in the deck overall. So hey, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.